keep the pressure up. And in having to build a hero, that'll take a little while. That'll take a minute. And Ted probably doesn't want to waste that time and so 400 and something gold just to get that hero, which I think he's hoping to win before that. What about you? What do you think?
I think he's gonna. Honestly, I think he thinks Lich is too vulnerable to the banish slash thunder stormbolt combination, the nuke, human nuke. So he's gonna skip the Lich and go for maybe I don't know, Crypt Lord, or maybe out of the world. What do you call that? Pit Lord.
Yeah,
It's possible.
well, obviously, Dark Rangers is very popular against this because when your opponent uses aerial shackles with the Dragon Hots, you can then silence them, and
Yeah.
that cancels the shackles. So that might be something that we see from Ted. If he does go for a second hero, he might just say solo Death Knight, because that does work pretty well, and he will want to get his experience up in his Death Knight, which is still only level 2. So still in a bit of a precarious position. But look at all these guards for Ted. We're only 11 minutes into the game, and Infi's just being dominated by these gargoyles. It's
Yeah.
really not fair there by Ted, don't you think?
Ooh, yeah, and there's still no defend on the footman, so the footman's gonna be open targets for all the gargoyles, and here comes the gargoyle. Oh man, I think the perfect counter for gargoyles is really flying machines. What do you think?
Yeah, flying machines are good if you can get them in large enough numbers, and obviously it requires a whole bunch of tech as well, and you want to
Oh,
get very, very nice bow there, actually.
oh,
Nice of GG. Um, yeah, as I said, flying machines are alright, especially considering Ted only had one hero. He could have just picked up a panda, got a bit of experience on it, and then those flying machines are pretty useless.
yeah,
And
that's right.
also, considering Ted had an expansion, he did have the economy just to switch up his economy, just to switch up what he was building, and he could have then switched to like abominations or something like that. And obviously, flying machines would have been pretty much useless, and I think that could have really screwed him over. So I think he probably I think if he just not getting out that Metropolis and expansion early enough, really did sort of screw him over. But I'm not sure really what he could have done about that. Some very dominating play there by Ted, I think.
Oh man, I think it's really hard for human to fight undead one base versus two base.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, especially if you don't get any harassment on undead, and have undead have that two base, and as human have one base, and and just try to counter undead. There's no way. There's no way.
oh yeah, certainly it's a
Um,
very tricky thing to actually fight. Especially, like obviously, as I said, the ratio is generally the other way around. But since Infi didn't really know that he was supposed to be harassing the economy, he didn't really think to do it, and that really did cost him because he wasn't costing Ted so 600 gold a second, so Ted was, or 600 gold a minute, beg your pardon, and so Ted was just getting some vastly increased resources for really very little cost. And I think that obviously the early weakness that you do suffer with this sort of strategy, if he didn't really manage to take advantage of that, and so Ted didn't manage to dominate the late game. And I thought it was some very impressive play by Ted, and we've been seeing very impressive play by Ted. Although I'm not sure how well you follow Ted, but certainly he's been really impressing me recently.
yeah, I know. But anyway, I think this is gonna be a two-part video after all. But
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah, I know. But anyway, do you want to do one more game, or you call it a night?
Well, let's take a look. So there might be one more game, folks. Stick around just to check out.
All right, stick around, viewers, and SBK out and Chumpesque.
Yeah, I'll see you later, possibly, folks.
All right,
Bye-bye.
later.